Today is June 5th, 2025. Nepal is seeing something many thought was history. More and more people are talking about the king. They wonder if the monarchy should come back. This idea is growing stronger each day. Just a few months ago, in March 2025, thousands marched in Kathmandu. They were not asking for small changes. They were calling for the return of the former king, Gyanendra Shah. This shows a big shift in how some Nepalese feel. They are looking back to a time before Nepal became a republic in 2008. This is a significant development for our nation. The desire for such a drastic change is not appearing out of nowhere. It stems from deep frustrations. People are tired of the current political situation. They see problems everywhere. The government seems unable to solve them. For 17 years, Nepal has been a republic. But for many, these years have not brought the promised progress. Instead, they have seen instability and difficulty. This has led them to question the path the country took. The calls for the king are a direct response to these feelings. It is a sign that a segment of the population is losing faith in the present system. The protests are becoming more visible and more frequent. The rally in March 2025 was a clear example. Around 10,000 people gathered. They chanted slogans supporting the monarchy. They welcomed the former king with enthusiasm. Such a large gathering for this cause was noteworthy. It signals that this is not just a small group of people. The support base appears to be growing. Riot police were even deployed, which caused some disruptions. This indicates the government is taking these demonstrations seriously. The energy at these rallies is palpable, reflecting a strong emotional current. This growing sentiment is a complex issue. It is not just about one person or one past leader. It is about a deep yearning for something different. People remember the past, perhaps with a sense of nostalgia. They compare it to the present, and for some, the present falls short. The idea of a king returning represents, for them, a possibility of order and stability. It is a symbol of a different way of governing. Understanding why so many are now looking to the monarchy is crucial. It tells us a lot about Nepal's current challenges and the hopes of its people. One of the biggest problems in Nepal today is political instability. It is a constant source of frustration for the citizens. Since Nepal became a republic in 2008, the country has seen 13 different governments. This frequent change means that no government stays long enough. They cannot make or implement long-term plans. Political parties seem to be constantly fighting among themselves. This infighting among the political elites has become a hallmark of our Republican era. People see this instability and lose hope. They feel that leaders are more interested in power than in serving the nation. This makes them look for alternatives. Corruption is another major grievance that fuels public discontent. It is widespread and affects many aspects of life. People encounter corruption in government offices. They hear about scandals involving high-ranking officials. This erodes trust in the entire system. When resources that should be used for public good are misused, citizens suffer directly. It means fewer services, poorer infrastructure, and a sense of injustice. The failure of successive governments to tackle corruption effectively has angered many. This anger contributes to the growing desire for a fundamental change in how the country is run, making some consider past systems. The economic situation in Nepal is also a significant concern for many. Unemployment is high, especially among young people. Many educated youths cannot find suitable jobs. This leads to frustration and a sense of hopelessness. Underemployment is also a common issue, where people work but do not earn enough. Poverty remains widespread, despite years of development efforts. Because of the lack of economic opportunities at home, many Nepalis are forced to migrate abroad for work. This large-scale labor migration separates families and drains the country of its young workforce. These economic struggles make people question the effectiveness of the current republic. These combined problems, political instability, rampant corruption, and severe economic struggles, create a climate of despair. Citizens feel that the political parties have failed to deliver good governance. They feel their daily lives are not improving. The promises made when Nepal became a republic seem unfulfilled. This widespread public discontent is the main driver behind the resurgence of pro-monarchy sentiment. People are not necessarily against democracy itself, but they are deeply dissatisfied with how the current democratic republic is functioning. They are searching for a system that can bring stability and progress to their lives. For some Nepalese, the monarchy represents a time of perceived stability and order. They look back and remember a period when things seemed less chaotic. This nostalgia is a powerful emotion. In the face of current political turmoil, the idea of a single unifying figurehead like a king can be appealing. They might believe that a monarch, being above day-to-day politics, could provide a sense of continuity. This feeling is especially strong among those who feel the current system has only brought division and uncertainty. The past, even if idealized, can offer comfort when the present is challenging. The monarchy was also deeply linked to Nepal's identity, particularly as a Hindu kingdom. For centuries, the king was seen not just as a political leader, but also as a cultural and religious symbol. The abolition of the monarchy in 2008 also meant the end of Nepal as an officially Hindu state. For some, this has led to a feeling that traditional Hindu values and cultural identity are eroding. They see the return of the monarchy as a way to restore this aspect of Nepal's heritage. This desire to protect cultural and religious identity is a significant factor for a portion of the pro-monarchy supporters. Support for the former king, Gyanendra Shah, has visibly increased. He became king in 2001 after a tragic event that wiped out most of the royal family. His own period of direct rule in 2005, when he seized absolute power, led to widespread protests and eventually his deposition. However, memories can fade, and current frustrations can make past issues seem less severe. Now, his public appearances draw significant crowds. Rallies held in his name, like the one in March 2025, are large and passionate. Interestingly, some former anti-monarchy activists are now expressing support for the monarchy. They cite government incompetence and the lack of progress as reasons for their change of heart. The emotional connection many people feel towards the institution of the monarchy cannot be understated. It is about more than just politics or governance. For some, it is about a connection to history, to a sense of national pride, and to a system they understood. The monarchy provided a narrative, a story of Nepal that resonated with them. The current republican system, with its constant squabbling and perceived failures, has not yet managed to create an equally compelling or unifying narrative for everyone. This emotional void, combined with practical frustrations, makes the idea of restoring the king an attractive proposition for a growing number of people. Despite the visible and growing support for the monarchy, most political analysts believe its return is unlikely in the near future. There are several reasons for this skepticism. The monarchy itself has a history of instability and controversial actions. King Gyanendra's seizure of absolute power in 2005 is still a recent memory for many. Furthermore, experts point out that the current political leaders, while often criticized, are unlikely to willingly give up their positions or dismantle the republican system they helped establish. They argue that the self-serving nature of many politicians means they would resist such a fundamental change. Bringing back the monarchy would require complex constitutional amendments. The current constitution of Nepal firmly establishes it as a federal democratic republic. Changing this would need broad political consensus, which is currently absent. The mainstream political parties, including the major players, remain committed to the republican framework, at least publicly. While the pro-monarchy sentiment is growing and becoming more vocal, it is not yet considered strong enough or organized enough to truly challenge the foundations of the republic. It represents a significant protest vote, but translating that into constitutional change is a monumental task. The government has also taken steps to manage the pro-monarchy movement. For instance, after the large rally in March 2025, there were reports that the former king's security detail was downsized. At times, force has been used to disperse rallies, indicating that the authorities are wary of the movement's potential. While these actions show the government is paying attention, they also highlight the establishment's resistance to the idea of a royal comeback. The path to restoration is therefore fraught with legal, political, and practical obstacles that seem insurmountable at this moment in time. Ultimately, the growing calls for the king's return reflect a deep public frustration. People in Nepal desperately want stability, good governance, and economic improvement. They are tired of corruption and political infighting. Whether the monarchy is the answer or not is a matter of intense debate. What is clear is that citizens are yearning for positive change. Experts suggest that meaningful reforms within the current democratic framework are essential to address these public grievances. If the Republic can deliver on its promises of progress and justice, the calls for a return to the past might fade. If not, the whispers for the king may grow louder.